Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the All on Me, the Morning Drinking Show. I'm your host, Greg, getting back on this motherfucker once again. Fired up, fired up. Wish your bitch would Wednesdays. I wish your bitch would. Holla back. I wish your bitch would step the fuck up. I wish a bitch would believe in herself, right? I know this shit hurts a lot of you motherfuckers, man. I know it hurts you soft ear cookies, but that's how we roll out here, man. I seen this pen set, right? That's the inspiration for today's title. Came off of a pen set, you know. Wish a bitch would Wednesdays. That's what a pen said. Right? Thunder cunt Thursdays. Fuck around, find out Fridays. You gotta laugh, motherfuckers. You gotta laugh. This world's so fucking crazy, right? Some of y'all just taking this shit too fucking serious. Too fucking serious. You believed the lie. You believed the lies, right? What was the lie? Right? That people care, right? That people gonna be there for you through thick and thin. That's what you believed. That somehow you didn't have to self-rescue. Somehow you didn't have to just go all in on you, right? That you could count on other people, right? Mom, dad, family, friends, BFFs, right? That's the lie. Which bitch would reach out, man? Wish someone saw me here by myself suffering, right? Nope. This world is self-rescue. Self-rescue, man. How do I know this shit? How do I know this shit? I've been there, man. I've been there. I've been there on the darkest days, the darkest nights of my life. And guess who wasn't there? Hardly anybody else. Almost nobody else was there when I was going through the darkest nights of my soul, right? And I feel it, man. I feel the suffering. I feel the agony, the grief, the voids, the loss, right? The heartbreak. What else are we dealing with right now, right? What else are you dealing with right now, right? You ain't happy. You ain't living life to the fullest. Be honest with yourself, right? Very few people that get on this, you're living life to the fullest. You truly experience the fullness of life. You're truly experiencing the love of the universe. Most of us, we're stuck on something in the past. Something got us down, whether it was a success that we just can't match or equal, right? Or maybe it's just a loss, some crazy ass loss. We lost somebody that we thought was going to be there forever, right? We intended, we planned, we hoped that motherfuckers are going to be there forever. And guess what? Poof, they gone. Here we are, hump day, middle of the week, right? Middle of the week. I know y'all can't handle this shit. That's why I keep coming hard, motherfuckers, because I know you can't handle this shit, right? You want to define what people need to say, what people need to do, what makes you feel comfortable. And guess what? I give two fucks. I give two fucks. I heard one of our over at the motel, right? One of our vendors, I think he was talking shit related to shit, but maybe he wasn't, right? Because I know that with this particular vendor, they haven't always lived up to their expectation, right? Of doing the technical sound quality job that we expect, that we pay for, and we paid a shit ton. And I've had a lot of run-ins with this particular vendor of ours, but yet they show up, they get the job done at some point. But they, one of the guys kind of smart-mouthed me yesterday, said, "Hey, man, these guys don't like you, huh?" And I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about?" He's like, well, I guess they named the porta potty after you. And I'm like, man, right? Y'all think I give a shit what any of y'all think? I give two shits what anybody fucking in this world thinks, right? I've been rejected by every single person you could be rejected by, right? And what am I talking about? Father, mother, everyone, right? I've been rejected by church families, right? I've been rejected by Christian brothers, right? By godly people. I've been rejected by beautiful women, ugly women, right? I've been rejected by my children, everything, right? Not to the fullest totality that I'm never going to have a relationship with these people. But at the end of the day, I've learned along my life journey is that for me to be validated and to put my hope and trust in what someone else thinks about me or what you think about yourself, that's all that matters. The only thing that matters is what you think about yourself, how you validate yourself, right? So when you're sitting there and you're waiting for someone to show up for you, come to your aid, come to your rescue, worry about your suffering, your issues, your hurt, your guilt, your shame, your loss, your pain. I've been talking this shit for over a year now, folks. Motherfuckers don't give two fucks. Yeah, they care. Sure, post up your fucking wah on there. The bad shit that happened. But there's very few people that can show up for you day in and day out through your life journey, through your experiences, the highs and the lows, right? You're going to have genuine people that care. But most people, it's thoughts and prayers, man. It's thoughts and prayers. Here's a thought. Here's a prayer, right? Thinking of you, caring about you. But they ain't going to comfort you. They can't take away that pain. They can't take away what's going on in the inside because they don't know. They got their own shit that they're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on in the inside. Do we understand this, folks? Can we understand that very few humans walking this earth even understand what's going on inside of themselves? More or less, we're wanting someone else to know all about what's going on in us when we don't even know. And then they're supposed to show up. I've said this from the beginning. Two types of people. There is two fucking incredible people that you could find in your life. And most of us don't call them husband, wife, mom, or dad, or any other kind of close relative. There's two types of people, not titles of people. That's very different. Y'all motherfuckers need to figure out the difference between types of people and titles. Types and titles, very different. Titles, mom, dad, husband, uncle, cousin, child, right? Son, daughter, niece, nephew, spouse, partner, all this bullshit. Types of people is when you are going through your fucking worst, man. The tough shit, the real shit, right? This person can stop what they're doing in their life because everyone's doing something. Everyone's going through the same shit. And they're going to show up for you. They can hear you. They can let you be yourself. They can let you just fucking get it off your chest, right? And then that's about it, right? Maybe they can give you a hug. Maybe they can console you. Maybe they can get you something nice, right? Make you a meal, take you out, get you some coffee. But they ain't going to just be able to just stop their life and fucking take care of you and nurture you back to your happy, healthy self. No one can do that, right? And the other person is that when you're kicking ass, right? When you're firing on all cylinders, when you're fucking thriving through life, the second type of person is the one that's cheering you on. They're the ones that are saying, man, we need to do a celebration for you. We need to celebrate you. We need to have a victory party for what it is that you're accomplishing, right? And they're all about you. They're your biggest cheerleader. Those are the two types of people that are so incredible if you can find that type of person in your life. Sometimes it's multiple people. Sometimes it's one person. Very few people have a spouse that can even meet that need, right? Because again, everybody is trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, right? And that's real talk on a Wednesday morning, right? I seen someone today I care about, I know about their family, I know about their loss, and it's just like, wah, 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 you know, why isn't anybody checking in? Why isn't anybody care about me? Why isn't anybody reaching out? I'm always the one. And there's just so much of a lesson in that, right? And the lesson is self-rescue. You got to learn how to soothe yourself. And it sucks. It sucks when you hurting, when you're trying to process loss, grief, right? And I've had to do that this year. I'm still processing major loss, right, from the last few years. And it comes and goes in waves. And it sucks, man. I'm grateful that I got this 21 acres of just fucking open range with national forest all around, because I could come out here and just scream from the fucking depths of my soul. And I ain't got to worry about no one else. I ain't got to worry about anybody freaking the fuck out. But it's a blessing to have this space for me to be able to just release. And grief is, there's not a timetable. There is a process for grief. You should look that shit up, right? And I've learned in my own journey that you can't skip any of the steps of grief. And sometimes you got to do some of the steps twice, 3 times, multiple times when you're trying to process loss of all different types, man. And trust me, I've had it all, right? I've lost myself in relationships. I've lost people I love. I've lost businesses. I've lost my identity. I've lost everything, just about everything, except for I haven't lost my life. I'm a hard motherfucker to kill, I'll tell you that much, right? I've tried. I've walked that edge. I put myself in some very extreme situations, some very dangerous, hazardous circumstances, and yet I still find a way through it. And it's what gets me up here. What gets me up in the morning, just knowing that, man, I'm just gonna, one day at a time, man. That's all you got, guys. One day at a time, one moment at a time. And you know, we're into week 2 of 23, and I'm sure you guys see it, man. There's all kinds of people out there. Yay, you know, yay's me. You know, 6 for 6 working out, 7 for 7, 10 for 10, 12 for 12. Yay's me. And it's just like, give it time, right? A year is an endurance race. It's not a sprint. It's not even a motherfucking marathon. It's an endurance race. And so I can tell you how my year goes, right? I'm not out there week 1 sprinting, right? Like if New Year's happened and the gun goes off and you see the racers take off. That's not me. Because if you rewind back to December, right, I was doubling, tripling, quadrupling down, finishing hard, because I believe it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that's very contrary to a lot of people out there trying to inspire you to get healthy, get in shape, eat better. And I'm trying to do that too. But my approach and my philosophy is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. However, the start does matter. And a lot of people, New Year's resolution, new year, new me, all this shit, most of those motherfuckers burn out week 3, right? First month, for sure by March. For sure, once summer comes, right? We ain't disciplined. We got more important shit to do than the gym. We got, you know, all kinds of barbecues and all kinds of fucking cheap meals. And then it just becomes back to the lifestyle, back to the reset. That shit don't work for me. So the way that I approach the new year, right, is really the first week or 2 is strategy. It's reflection, right? It's really taking some time to appreciate how much I accomplished last year, right? I'm not chalking up my accomplishments for 22 in the middle of December, because that's like saying the last 2 weeks don't even count. And again, for me, my philosophy is, it's how you finish. It's not how you start. So I blast through the finish line. Blast through that motherfucker. So last year, I was firing on all cylinders all the way up until the end. And once the end happens, Then I take the first week or two to just really reflect, take time to appreciate all that I've accomplished, right? A lot of times we don't appreciate it. And that's that whole results kill excuses mindset is it's going to become a lifestyle brand, right? That's going to go global. It'll go national, global, everything. But it's going to allow for people to really subscribe to chalking up wins for themselves on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, big and small alike, and really stopping to appreciate that, to be proud of yourself. How many motherfuckers are proud of yourselves just for one thing yesterday? What's one thing that you could say you're proud of yourself for accomplishing, overcoming? And it could even be in the mundane shit. If you're going through a really tough time, like if you're really struggling with grief and loss or heartache or heartbreak or any of that, and yet you're still showing up for work, right? You're still getting compliments at work for being an amazing person or kicking ass, or, you know, it's like, stop and appreciate that. That takes a lot, you guys. That's a warrior's fucking spirit. Too many of us that live in the struggle, live in the dirt, we don't even realize what it is to appreciate the little things in life. The fact that we still wake up, that we're still trying, even if it sucks. If we're overcoming all of this pain and suffering and anguish, and yet we're still doing something. I love to convince you to leave the vices alone, right? Because if your way of dealing with the pain, the loss, that hurt inside of you is to what? Overindulge, to drink, to get high, to eat unhealthy. I mean, you're just numbing the pain, right? And you're not doing yourself any favors. And it's really once you learn how to manage stress in a healthy way, right? Where you learn how to do breath work, do meditation, right? Instead of pounding a few beers or getting high like fuck, you know, you're able to sit there and journal this shit, write it down, right? You're able to go get some therapy. You're able to go for a walk or go for a run or go for a hike or go to the gym or sign up for a class or go to yoga, right? And yet it's when you can substitute going to the vices, which you're triggered to go to the vice when you start feeling uncomfortable, when you don't feel comfortable in your own skin. That's when you got to show up for yourself because no one else knows how you feel. Thus, no one else has programmed you, right, to go to those negative vices that just numb away the pain and give you a small sense of relief, right? Because that's all we really all want is a sense of relief. And I know a lot of people in the faith, right, that have faith, but they don't truly allow for unconditional love in this universe to really sink in, to feel it, right? And that's been a big challenge and a big thing that I've been focusing on is getting out of the thinking mind and getting into that feeling, that's that heart-centered lifestyle of saying, I don't want to just have thoughts of being happy or what it would be for me to feel loved or feel joyful, feel peaceful, feel happy. I want to feel that way. And I get to, as a creator of my life, I get to figure out, right, how to feel happy, how to feel loved, how to feel accepting of all the shit that I've been through, right? And a lot of shit I'm ashamed of. I carry around a lot of shame, but it's like each and every day that I continue this life, I continue this healing journey, right? I accept myself that much more, right? And that's a very empowering place to be, right? Is when you truly, truly accept the things that you have experienced in this life. And I know someone that I don't know the details of what they've been through, but they've given me enough indication that I could tell it's really bad, right? It's maybe that this person was sexually assaulted, maybe they were sexually abused. And I think if anybody has been through those types of violations, right, it's hard for you to imagine. There's a The thinking is that everything in your life has happened for you, not to you. And that's really hard, because if you can think back in your life and relive through some really challenging shit, for you to sit there and think, oh, that happened for me. That was just so pleasurable, being violated by some fucker, some ass, some motherfucker, right? Yay, that happened for me. It's so hard to make sense of it. It's so fucking hard to make sense of this stuff. But there is this place of a transcended mindset, a transcended life that says, even though it doesn't make sense in the logical mind, because someone needs to pay for your pain. But when you really get beyond the pain, get beyond what you've experienced and really learn how to heal it, what you realize is that anybody that's ever hurt you, right, they're suffering too. And they're suffering in their own way. And many times they have been violated as well. And the only thing they know how to do is to pass on that pain. And it's a tragedy in this world, but it takes a real fucking warrior. It takes real fucking courage and strength to go on in life, having had something very tragic happen to you, right? That you had no control over, that you couldn't fight back, or maybe you did, or maybe you couldn't. You were totally taken advantage of. And yet for you to say that that happened for you, right? For the betterment of you, for you to heal. And then hopefully at some point, what's so empowering is that when you can truly accept the stories, accept the hurt, accept what happened to you, and you can forgive, right? Forgive yourself, forgive those that did this shit. Then you can actually share your story. And by sharing your story, you're going to realize you're not alone, right? That your shame is not yours alone, that other people have been through some pretty tough shit too. And when they can see your strength, your resilience, right? Your ability to overcome and do it with some dignity and some class, take the high road, right? That's so empowering, you guys. That's the true essence of life, of living life, is that when you allow for your vulnerabilities, for the skeletons, right, to be put for everyone's eyes to see, right? Because we live in such a judgmental world. I don't give a fuck what people say. This world, you are judged. You're going to be judged. You're judged by, it's not just by the color of your skin no more, right? It's by your eye color, your height, your weight, your looks, your education, right? Your car, your house, your occupation, the number of kids you got, your age, everything, you guys, every fucking little thing we're judged by. And what you need to realize is that you got to have that I don't give a fuck mindset. So then when motherfuckers try and, whether they're joking or being serious, I give two fucks. But when they try and tell me, hey man, these guys must not like you, they named the shitter after you, I'm like, I give two fucks. I don't care. It's not my business. I don't give a fuck what other people think, right? I wouldn't have made it this far if I did. Trust me. I had plenty of reasons throughout my life to give up, to just delete myself. And that's some real talk on a Wednesday, wish a bitch would Wednesday. I got crazy humor, man. I hope you guys that do enjoy what I have to say can understand the humor, but can hear the seriousness in what I talk about. The real life shit, man, that holds us back. It hurts us. It it's really a big part of our identity, right? Is the things that we've experienced that cause us the most grief, the most pain. And we don't know how to find a way through it. But yet I know I'm talking to people that continue to fucking get through some major shit in life. And I'm always going to get back on here and say, fuck, if you're going through some really tough shit right now, you got financial pressures, you got emotional stuff, you got loss happening in your life, you got all of these things coming from every different direction, and you're still fucking moving forward, whether you're crawling, walking, running, or hauling ass. If you are still getting up and taking care of yourself, at least with hygiene and some basics, holy shit, man, you're a fucking warrior. And I wish you would see that in yourself. Not everybody can do that. And that the fact that that is the spirit that you have inside of you, man, if you could just get past the pain and the suffering, if you could find a way to truly integrate it, to write it down, and to really say, you know what? I want to empower myself because I want to turn my pain into a fucking purpose in life. Do you understand this? Your pain can become your purpose. And that is when life really just starts fucking opening up, right? In ways that you've never seen before. Because when you sit in the victim's mindset, waiting for someone to come and rescue you, someone to come and check on you, someone to make sure you're okay, it's like, and it don't come, fuck. There's a lesson there. The lesson isn't that no one cares about you. The lesson is you don't care about yourself enough. Because if you did truly understand and care about yourself, you would actually continue moving forward in life. You would continue thriving through life. You would figure out what it was to thrive in your life. Instead of sitting there and waiting for someone to fix all your problems and take away your pain. It don't work that way. No one can do it. I was married 21 years, you guys. 21 fucking years. I'm telling you, I never, ever one time, not one time, ever, 21 years sleeping next to the same person, not one time in my entire life did I ever know what that person was thinking or feel what that person was feeling. Do you hear this? I was with the same person for 21 years, slept next to her for 21 fucking years, and I never one time knew what she was thinking or how she was feeling, unless she communicated those things. And even then, I had to filter them through what? What my understanding of a certain feeling or a certain thought is. We don't know what other people are feeling, and thus, you need to realize everybody's going through some shit. Everybody. There's not one person that is exempt from going through a level of psychological, emotional, mental suffering. I don't care how well that they can put themselves out there. Some of you might even look at me and be like, damn, this guy really got his shit together. I do got my shit together. And every single day, I master my mind, my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings, right? That much more. But that doesn't mean that I don't have major fucking breakdowns. I just don't look to no one to fix it no more. But I have told you guys, I go to therapy. I have a therapist, right? I'm grateful that I have a small circle of people that I'm able to vent and open up to, but they're not always there, right? And I'm not always there for them. Thus, much of my healing, much of the biggest breakthroughs emotionally, psychologically, and mentally that I've had, they weren't during moments of therapy. They weren't on a crisis line, and they weren't with someone embracing me with affection, love, and saying, it's going to be okay, Hito, I love you, and kisses, and none of that. That's not when the breakthroughs happen. The breakthroughs happen when I learned how to what? comfort myself, soothe myself. And that's what's so important, because the aspect of your personality that's crying out, that feels insecure, that feels unsafe, that feels unworthy, that feels afraid, that feels rejected, that feels alone, is the child. It's the little version of you, the little child version of yourself. And what that child needs is for the other aspects of you, the adult and the parent, to come and nurture and to care, right? To provide emotional safety and security, right? And you have to do this. Self-talk is so important, because what even gets you to the place where you're crying out and putting all your pain on the internet for everyone to see, crying for help, what that does is you're still dependent on something else outside of yourself, right? You're not realizing the power you have within. And it is true, but I know it's not realistic. But a lot of people in relationships are in those relationships because they're codependent, right? They're trauma bonded, and they are afraid to be alone. And I read an article the other day that talked about how being alone and being secure being alone is like a fucking superpower. And I've had to learn that. Not the easy way. I've learned it mostly the hard way, right? Again, 21 years of marriage expired, right? A small time of, recovering off of that post-divorce, and then getting into a serious relationship for about 1.5 years. And now going on about 1.5 years plus of being single, right? It's the longest stretch, other than just right out of high school into the military, which I didn't even feel alone, because when you're in the military, you got people crawling all over you. You got this band of brothers, brotherhood and camaraderie. Everyone knows every fucking thing about you. There's always someone to fucking smell their farts and, talk shit to, and you just don't really feel alone. But in this, as an adult, this past year, for sure, has been the longest stretch that I've had to be alone, right? To go through the dark nights of the soul by myself. And it has been hard. It has been challenging. It has been excruciatingly painful at times. Not every day, not every night. But I have learned so much, and I'm very grateful for this time, because it has empowered me in ways that I always wanted to be empowered, right? I don't want to be codependent on somebody else. I don't want to put the pressures of my life, of my goals, of my dreams, of my accomplishment, of me feeling happy, of me feeling loved onto someone else. It's not fair. And yet there's a lot of people in relationships that are staying in bad relationships because they're just afraid to be alone. They're just afraid. It's just, we have this stupid ass fucking stigma that being alone is somehow you're rejected, somehow you're unlovable, somehow something's wrong with you. And in this day and age, more and more people, healthy people, are choosing to be alone, because we're not going to settle. I'm not going to fucking settle for the old shit that used to excite me, but would fucking just break my heart, and full of drama and full of fucking agony, making up and breaking up and fighting and arguing and sex and fighting and arguing and sex, and just this whirlwind fucking experience of companionship. That's not fun. That's not what I want at this age, right? So I want to feel healthy, whole, and complete. I want to believe that everything I need, I possess. And I would love for you to believe that same thing, that everything you think you could need, right? you should possess. I got called out the other day, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this team member that I have. I went and watched. Speaking of being single, I took myself out on a date on New Year's Eve. Right, went out and ate dinner by myself, me, myself, and I, and also went to a movie, me, myself, and I. And I don't watch a lot of movies. I saw Top Gun Maverick this year, and I seen Avatar the other day. And I was talking to one of my teammates about it because she's super excited about the movie. And I was reflecting on it. And, you know, the two main characters, like the power couple, right? The warrior couple. You know, I've always been inspired by that shit. I've always been inspired by the stories of like power couples or warrior couples, a couple that just picks each other up and fucking just slays life and builds an empire. And as I was sort of fantasizing about that, because we were kind of talking about the message and the story behind it all, I said, man, I need me one of those type of women. And my teammate, she put me on blast. She's like, what? No, you don't. I'm like, what do you mean I don't? She's like, you don't need that, right? She's like, that's not healthy. And I really appreciated her putting me on blast like that, because she's right. For me to say I need that that's very insecure. In this life, I do not need that. Do I desire it? Sure. I desire to have a fucking badass, kick-ass fucking life partner type spouse, right? Someone that's my equal. And I believe in that law of attraction. But I don't need it, right? I need to have a mindset that if I go the rest of this way in my life solo, so be it. I shouldn't feel like I'm lacking or missing anything in my life, right? I got my kids, right? I got a community of people around me. To have that person would be nice, but I don't need it. And that's the big fucking thing. Those words matter. So for me to let that slip, I had to eat those words. I had to really process that and say, fuck, you're right. I don't need that. But I do want it. I do desire it, but I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. Because a lot of us, we think that we need someone in our life, thus we settle. And thus we're miserable motherfuckers in the relationship. And you know it. You know it that if you have a fucking good, solid relationship, and you know if you don't, right? Because if you've ever thought about what would it be like without this person, that probably tells me that it's there. And I'm not trying to be the breakup artist for people's lives, because everyone's got to do it themselves. Everybody's got to figure out their way. I knew that at 21 years, right, at about year 12, about the halfway mark, we had a 10-month separation, right, with divorce papers filed. And then we just kind of let those dissolve. And we said, let's give it a go. And it was mostly compelled by what? Them kids. It was the guilt. It was all these religious people, the guilt, the kids, the this, the that. And so we just kind of wrote it out for another, 7 years. And I regret that in many ways, because I really feel that, I didn't grow during that period in a way that I wish I could have. And I didn't invest in the relationship, and the relationship didn't improve. It was like more of a honeymoon period for about a year or two. And then it was right back to the same old shit. And a lot of you, that's what you do, right? You just keep making up and breaking up and making up and breaking up and breaking up and making up, and right. That's an unfortunate circumstance, right? But you have created that for yourself, just like everything else. You're creating your suffering, you're creating your pain, right? Someone else loses their life, right? And then you're carrying it around as if it's your loss. It impacts you physically, it doesn't. Emotionally, yes. It's an emotional loss. That person isn't there anymore. And it's sad to think that. But I always say, if the person could speak from beyond the grave, what would they want you doing? Would they want you mourning their loss for the rest of your life? Or would they say, dude, like, live your best life. All the things that you've been afraid of, go do those things. Go try those things. Go experience those new things, right? Quit being complacent. Quit living a miserable life. Quit living a half fucking ass life. Quit doing everything half-assed. Start giving a full fucking measure. Go all out on life. I didn't realize I was going to die when I did. And I'm saying, like, this is someone talking from beyond the grave, that you're carrying around the loss. Like, if you got to be a miserable motherfucker for the rest of yours, right? Because if they could talk, I'm telling you, these people they would have a different understanding for the value of life and death. And they would inspire you to say, get off your ass. Get off your fucking pity party shit, right? Celebrate my life. Honor my life by living your best life. I truly believe that. Stop and think for yourself. Think about someone that you're truly missing right now, right? If they could give you a message from beyond the grave, do you think they would be like, oh, I'm so grateful. I feel so honored that you're so sad and miserable and not really doing anything with your life right now. Thank you so much for just putting your whole life on hold and being sad for me. Think about that, people. How many of those folks would be like, I'm so thankful. I feel so honored that you're sitting around moping, miserable, numbing pain, right? Being depressed, being sad, right? Because I'm no longer there. I feel so honored that you're willing to live such a shitty life for the rest of yours because I'm no longer there. These people aren't going to say that. Even if you believe the spiritual world, like, they're out there saying, holy shit, take advantage of the life that you got, because you don't know how much more time you got. This could be the year, motherfuckers. This could be the year. Mark my words. This could be the year you die. Right? No one is guaranteed shit. That's real talk. That's morbid as fuck, but that's what you get here. The truth. Right? I'm speaking from the truth. This is not rehearsed. This is straight, real motherfucking talk, unrehearsed, uncensored, unedited. And that's why you listen. Because you ain't hearing this type of shit nowhere else. Everybody else is trying to just get you feeling good, make you feel like, you know what, it's okay to be sad, it's understandable. Bullshit. Get off your pity party, right? Shut the pity party down, turn off the lights, kick the motherfucking pity partiers out, right? And say, you know what, let's clean up, let's get our shit together, let's call a motherfucker up, let's get some inspiration, and let's go figure out what the fuck we want to do in life. Let's turn this pain into purpose. Right? So that we can accomplish something in this life. You want to honor someone that you are missing, right? You want to honor somebody you're missing? You want to impress somebody you're missing? Make a fucking impact in this world and start by believing in yourself, and then start cleaning up your fucking environment, changing up your bad habits for good habits, right? Start transforming your fucking mind, your life, mental, emotional, spiritual and physical self. Clean yourself up. It starts with you. That's the hero's journey. From rags to riches, from the bottom to the top. It is a journey. And no one understands why. Why does this have to happen to me? It didn't have to happen to you, but it did. And you can sit there in the negative, or you can find inspiration and motivation and desire to say, look, I'm going to use this to kickstart my fucking life, because I don't know, but I want to make a difference. And I know that the people that are still here, they deserve the best of me, not the fucking worst. Right? We all get time to grieve, whatever the fuck. But are you going to spend the rest of your life doing it? Or are you ready to fucking get your shit, tie your shoes on, clean yourself up, wipe your ass, and fucking hammer it out? Let's go. Right? That's the inspiration in 23. Breakthrough. Break through the fucking pain. Break through the suffering. Right? Smash that shit that's in front of you. Right? Quit giving in to the little bitch voice that always wants the easy way. The easy way. The easy way, right? The easy way only leaves you feeling fucking worse off. That shit does not inspire you to have an easy life, right? It's when you embrace the challenges, when you look fucking obstacle and adversity in the face and you say, I ain't giving up. I'm getting up. I'm going to either go through you, I'm going to go around you, I'm going to go over you, I'm going to go under you, but I'm going to get on the other side of you. And when I do, you will hear my fucking roar. Let's get it, motherfuckers. Results kill excuses. It's all on me. Greg's out.